Thank you for the beautiful music, and I want to play a special hymn of praise to the piano, because we can just see that wonderful woman who is the minister here walking over to decide to sing to us as well. So we're hearing her singing in the realms above. I am both very sad to be here because I'm sad because she's so ill, but I'm deeply honored also to have been asked to, at this evening's or this afternoon's performance, the role of this preacher will be played by Peggy Rubin. So I'm honored and delighted to be here. Thank you. And sending enormous gratitude to Kathy Zavato. For this meditation period, I'm going to rely on the teachings, the Buddhist teachings, particularly as articulated by John Bruno, with a couple of additions that other friends have suggested. So I'm going to say the first words, and then if you're willing, in a meditative way, to say them again, okay? May I be filled with loving kindness. May you be filled with loving kindness. May all beings everywhere, and remember, there's nobody left out of that one. May all beings everywhere be filled with loving kindness. May I be peaceful and at ease. May you be peaceful and at ease. May all beings everywhere be peaceful, and at ease. This is a special one for Kathy. May I be healthy and well. May you be healthy and well. May all beings everywhere be healthy and well. And this is an addition, my favorite of the prayers offered by the Dalai Lama. May you be imbued, I'm going to go first with me. May I be imbued with happiness and the causes of happiness. May you be imbued with happiness and the causes of happiness. May all beings everywhere be imbued with happiness and the causes of happiness.
May all beings everywhere be imbued with happiness and the causes of happiness.
So let's just hold those statements, those prayers, for a few moments in silence. Thank you. It has been my privilege in my time to visit Sacramento, the city, you know, that place in Northern California. And there was a rock star of a minister there who's not unlike this beautiful one that you have here, Reverend Georgia. And she would say, when we came to the service, to fill up the empty seats with people you love, with people in need, with people wishing they were here, or whatever. But fill up the empty seats with those you have cared for, with the way the world needs people to be present to one another. So will you just, for this moment or two, fill up these seats? Thank you for those of you who are filling the seats already, but fill up the empty ones with people that you love or that need to be present in some holy way in this beautiful and blessed community. So just a minute or two of filling up the seats, and turn around and say hello to them. Greet the ones who are here and the ones who are now filling the seats, if you will, blessing them. Thanks. Aren't they nice? I was writing to Kathy about, she'd asked me to come for next weekend, and then when she told me she was sick, could I come this weekend? I said, sure. And I was writing to her about what I thought I could present, or what might be useful or interesting or whatever to you. And I talking about the spiritual power of the goddess Durga, who many of you know is the one who goes into battle against evil forces and wins. 3 different battles, 3 different times, once in the sea, once on the earth, and once in the heavens she fought. And she won with her lion. We got to remember she rides a lion in at least 2 of those. So, and she said, and she sent it to me, but I wasn't able to open it because I'm not part of that social media thing. But she wrote about Durga. Did any of you see what she wrote about the courage that it takes and the awakening to that great goddess? Who is some form of that goddess has been known to the people of the Himalayan valleys and mountains for 10,000 years, actively worshipped as the being who holds it all, who knows it all, who carries it all, who embodies it all, and who will come to our rescue if we have enough courage to ask her to come. So I said, well, okay, let's talk about, it would be okay with you then if I talked about Durga's spiritual weapons to do, because one of the beautiful things about the Hindu and Buddhist tradition about the great battles are that they're interior battles. and they're told very dramatically because that battle is the battle from the forces inside. And the forces, even those that are manifest around us because to some extent we carry them in us, are fairly fierce. And they take a great deal of help in order to consistently keep them at bay or quiescent and not made manifest in the world. Agreed? Anybody have any inner battles that you fight fairly? Consistency. Okay. Well, we all do, and that's what these battles are about. And they're told so dramatically that everybody can understand them, and they are repeated, and the stories of them are told over and over and over again in repeated beautiful rituals and have been for thousands of years. So we're talking a little bit about the goddess Durga. And those of you who have images of her, there's her first battle. She comes in, she's got 10 arms, okay? She's got 3 eyes, which means that she can see the entire universe, everything. She is omniscient, and she has salutations in the 10 directions, meaning that she is present everywhere. So we've got this power that is associated with and celebrated throughout the world in many traditions as one who knows, who carries, and who cares for humankind in a way that will help us. And those of us who are needing the allyship or the assistance in these particular times when courage is called for can ask her for help and listen to her reply. So, the thing I'd like to ask you to do, let's see, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people right here, okay? Now I'm going to ask you to imagine them as one person. And the first battle that she fights, she's got 10 arms. That's why I'm at 10 arms, 10 and 10 legs, okay? So we don't ask for a wimp to help us. Okay, we ask for someone who carries power, who carries spiritual power, and uses it in every possible way to subdue the demonic forces that at that time had subdued all of the male gods. There was nothing the masculine gods could do. It had all been taken away from them. And there were demonic forces who were taking all of the power. Does that sound like anything that you have heard recently in recent times? And so it's not new in this world. And one of my more poignant quotations from the Buddha is that the world is on fire with the forces of greed, hatred, and delusion. And that was 2,500 years ago. The Devi Mahatmya, which tells the story of Durga in her 3 battles, was probably actually written down early in the Common Era, although it reverts back, as I said, to the worship of a divine feminine that is 10,000 years old. So we have here these 5 beautiful people with 10 arms. Would you please just display? Yes. Oh, good. It's 6 people. That's good. It's 12. Yes. All right. Good. Yes, there's one, and there's one. Okay, let's add a few more. Let's add 4 more people because there's a time when it's 9. It's 18 arms. Now, the beautiful thing about it is we're not alone in this battle. There are other arms to help. And every arm, every hand carries a spiritual tool, a spiritual power. Okay, so what I'm going to ask you to think about, okay, is there anybody here who is battling fear? Nice, okay, yeah, and we all have reason to be afraid for ourselves and for our neighbors, right? Okay. So if you will just hold out your hand and ask the goddess Durga for one of her spiritual weapons. And the one that I'm going to ask her to deliver to your hand right now is the one that is the pure water pitcher. And notice the water. And what is the water that pours eternally from this endless pitcher? What is that water? Compassion. Is that what I just heard? Yes. Okay, compassion for yourself. So can you just, okay, that's beautiful. Can you just pour compassion for yourself? Everybody who's dealing with fear in any way. Compassion for yourself. An awareness of it. Then, okay, so with the other hand, okay, so the compassion for self and compassion for others who are feeling fear. Now, if you would, okay, just let that hand go for just a moment. You've got that one, okay. Now I'm going to ask you to connect with the most primal force of nature that you love. Is it trees? Is it the earth herself? Is it, as it is in Durga's case, the lion? What is the primal force of nature that will help you with fear? Can you connect with it? Is it rootedness, like that glorious tree up there? What is it? What is the primal force of nature that can assist you when you feel fear? The living plants. Right. Regeneration. Okay. One of her spiritual powers in the last battle that she fought is a plow. And that's the one that means the most to me right now, because it is up to us at this time in what Jean calls the ending times, where we haven't got a clue what the beginning times are yet. But we need to plant seeds. We need to focus not on the fear so much and on the deep concerns, but on how we are planting seeds. And this is another thing that Jean says, in this time of hate, we go deeper into love. We go more into what we love. We remember what we love. We celebrate what we love. We celebrate the people who are lovers. We celebrate love at every level, in order not so much to counteract what's going on, but to strengthen the forces. Because I also believe in the physicists who tell us that the universe, not everything we do, is fed into the universe and then fed back to us, bigger. So if we put fear out, we get more fear back, right? So, but if we put compassion for ourselves out, we get compassion back, compounded. If we put rootedness into our own beingness, if we gather our animals, the bears, the wolves, the lions, the cats, the dogs, all those glorious animals that have been so good to us, as part of our cadre, as part of our helpers, then we can go. The fear is at least lessened. Can you just check in with the fear and see with the compassion and the rootedness and the allyship with the deep powers of the universe? Does that release it? Does that help it? Just know if it lightens. Okay. Is there anybody here who's contending with not knowing? Okay. Will you put out your hand, please? And Durga is going to bring into your hand a lance. Okay, can you tell me what the lance can do? Puncture illusion. Pierce it. Yes. Okay. Beautiful. All right. And if you have that, can you use it wisely? And what do you see once you have punctured delusion? That beautiful song, "The light is shining." Is that accurate? Does that help? Okay. Anybody dealing with despair? Yeah. Hold out your hand. And let's see what she puts into it. I'm going to ask her to put in prayer beads. That's one of her spiritual powers, is prayer. Does that mean the time is up? Okay. Okay, is there anything that's helping with that? The sense of prayer, the prayer beads. Who do you pray for? How do you pray? What do you pray? Does it help in times of despair? Good. Anybody here who deals with anger? And this is the one I ask her, and I usually forget until it's too late and the anger's already exploded. But I've asked her, one of her spiritual weapons is a noose. And I ask her, please, when I feel that force rising in myself, please slip it around my neck and shut me up. So if you think of it as a silk noose, how about that? So that when I'm about to say something that I will deeply and forever regret, please, Durga, please, a soft control piece just around my neck. I'll wear it like a necklace. How's that? And it will help. So just notice if that helps you in those moments just before, when it would be so nice not to say the words that are about to barrel out of my mouth. Anybody else got that feeling? Would that help? Would that help? Okay. Just for the joy of it, would you hold out your hand, and I'm going to ask her to put a bell in your hand. What does that do? What does that do? Brings harmony and healing. Beautiful, yeah. And it reminds us, calls attention back to the body, to the heart, Anything else? Well, she does have dozens more of beautiful, beautiful gifts, spiritual gifts. And I could do the long list, but this has been enough of that. And I'm also, because it's important to me, excuse me, I didn't mean to step on your feet. I'm very happy to see you, however. Many years ago, I heard a very wise and noble human being, man, talk about why he didn't believe in God, okay? And it was because as a child, he attended a service, and something in the service said to him, God wants you to praise him. Something about it said, praise God. You know, there was that piece of it. And he said, if God needs praise, he's not God. And I admired this gentleman. He's a wonderful healer and all the rest of it. And I thought, what is it about that word that worries me? And thanks to some of the great hymns about Durga and other beings, I realized that it isn't that God or Goddess needs praise, but that we need to give it. We need to sing praise. And in these hymns about these battles that Durga and the Mahalakshmi, Mahakali, and she only gets mad, by the way, when the demons go after her animal, go after the lion. And this is wonderful. When she scowls, this is a beautiful teaching in its own way. When she scowls, Kali comes forth and wipes out the entire demon army like that. You know, she would. And also when she gets distressed, the mothers come forth to help with the defeating of the demons. So that's another thing to remember, that the mothers are here to help us. The fathers too, who have been through greed, hatred, and delusion themselves. But so, and the reason I'm talking about the praise is because the great hymns, all three of the battles, the gods assemble once the battles have been won and the demons have been defeated decisively. They gather to sing praise to the goddess, to the Durga, to the one who is the all in all, beyond all time, beyond all everything, that eternal force. And I'm going to just ask you to listen while the most famous one of them is always recited at the festival for the goddess Durga. And that singing praise or speaking praise lifts the heart and lifts the mind and will help us. So and I think of praise as kind of amplified gratitude, and we all have enormous amounts of gratitude for everything, for life. And then if we just lift it a little bit, praise for life, praise for that bird, you know, because it means that we have given forth more energy, and the universe will reply by sending some more back. So right now, just, if you will, lift up your arms as if you were people wanting to sing praise to life at just this moment. What words might you use to say thank you, thank you, thank you? And isn't life an unbelievably glorious thing? Yeah. All right. So this is a long hymn to the goddess Durga. What time is it doing, please? Am I done? I'm through talking. No, I have another minute to do. Okay. This is a praise song that all of the deities, because this was a time when the male gods were themselves defeated. And so they needed somebody to help. And this is one translation of it. And I'm going to ask you, just for the joy of it, to read it with me. Or I'll read it in if you don't mind saying it. The power who is defined as consciousness in all beings, reverence to her, reverence to her, reverence, reverence. Just to see how those lines feel to you. That power who is defined as consciousness in all beings. That power who is defined as consciousness in all beings. Reverence to her. Reverence to her. Reverence to her. Reverence. Reverence. Just how does that feel in your body? Does it, is it okay? Okay. That power who is known as reason in all beings. Reverence to her. Reverence to her. Reverence to her. Reverence. Reverence. How does that feel? That power who exists in all beings in the form of sleep. Reverence to her. Reverence to her. Reverence to her. Reverence. Reverence. And it goes on to, nothing is left out, in the form of hunger, reflection, energy, thirst. Pages and pages and pages. Forgiveness, species, bashfulness, peace, faith, loveliness, good fortune, vocation, memory, compassion, fulfillment, mother, illusion. And that they end it with that. To the power who presides over the sense of all beings and governs all the elements. Reverence to her, reverence to her, reverence to her, reverence, reverence. Now it's time. Thank you for letting me be here. Thank you for letting me talk to you about praise. Love to you all.